Hey designers, has anyone ever asked you what you do as a designer and you feel like maybe you've stumbled over your answer? Or maybe sometimes as a designer you get lost in the weeds and feel like sometimes you can't make sense of what's actually going on. Or maybe you've run into somebody who actually distrusts design and what design actually can do. Well, I'm here because I felt those same pains. And over the past 2 years, I've been trying to make sense of what design is and how to do it. In this video, I'm going to give you a concrete, simple definition that's going to help anyone know what design is and how to engage with it. Hi, I'm John Diallo, and I'm here to help anyone improve their design and creative abilities. So why make this video at all? Isn't design sort of self-evident? Isn't it everywhere? We have massive industries built on what design is. We have designers rising through the ranks in companies, and yet here I am asking the question, what is design? Well, I have a suspicion that there's other people out there who suffered from the same kinds of just lack of clarity and confusion that I felt in my career, and I've actually kind of tried to really wrestle with this and understand what it is. So first of all, let's stop for a moment and look at some of the ways we use the word design, because we actually use it in a lot of different ways. And this is one of the reasons that tipped me off to maybe there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here. First, we talk about design as if it's a product. It's something to be produced. Hey, did you bring that design to the meeting? You see, we often talk about design as if it's something that has been produced. And yes, design does produce things and design needs to produce things. But oftentimes we think about design as if it's the outcome or the end goal or the product that we're shooting for. Second, we use design in a way where we talk about it as if it's a process or some sort of thinking regimen. You ever seen any book with the title Design Thinking on it? Or have you ever seen the litany of design processes that exist? Yeah, design involves thinking, but design is not necessarily a process. It's not something that you can just try out every time you want and boom, get magical innovation. It doesn't work that way. In fact, innovation happens within different circles and it has a really tightly confined scenario when it can happen. But that's probably a topic for another video. Lastly, we use it sort of as a way to describe intent. Well, the design was intended to, or it was designed to do this, or it was designed to do that. Yeah, that's good. Design needs to be focusing on solving problems and moving forward, and it's intended to do things, but design is not intent. Design is simply a way of us expressing intent. So you can see that there's lots of ways that we use the word design, and they don't all seem to sort of mesh together. And it even gets a little worse. So I've even run into definitions like this. It's safe to say that design is an arrangement of visual elements that aims to solve a real-world problem. Yeah, that's good. And for some people, that is a very good expression of what visual design is. But if that's our definition of design, then we just left out multiple industries. What about industrial design? What about product design or UX design? How about interior design or engineering design? Or any of the other industries that are out there? If we're going to think about design as a discipline and we're going to think about it, we need to make sure that it works across broadly all of the industries and all the various sub-disciplines that come from design. So, what's this magical definition? John, how are you going to change my world? Well, it's not perfect, but it seems to be working for me. And I wanted to share it with you, and hopefully it'll clear up some of your confusion and maybe help you collaborate better with others. Here's my working definition of design. Design is a distinct method of reasoning that brings formed solutions that solve specific but ambiguous problems. So I want to break this definition down. I'm going to break it into 6 different components, and we're going to talk through each one of them because I want to show you why I think this way of thinking is actually pretty powerful. So the first component is that it's distinct. Design is different from the kind of reasoning that you might do to solve a math problem or to understand what gravity is. These are different kinds of problems that we're dealing with, so there's a different kind of reasoning that goes along with them. So design is unique in its ability to do very exploratory type creation activities, bring a bunch of different ideas to the table, and then begin to test out and tease out which ones fit with the problem and which ones don't. That brings us then to the second component of our definition. That is a type of reasoning. Design is an expression of what's going on in our minds, trying to make sense of the world and trying to look for and solve for the problems that exist. Our goal as designers is often to solve a problem. We bring solutions to the table, but we do that then through bringing form to them, and that brings us to the third component of our definition, bringing form. Designers don't live just up in the headspace or work with abstract ideas. We actually deal with bridging the abstract and the conceptual with the actual real world. And so designers actually bring form. And that's one of the joys, and that's one of the wonderful things about design, is that we get to create and build and make these wonderful things that can impact and we can interact with in the real world. That's part of the power of design, is that we can shape our world by bringing new and unique forms into it. But we don't just bring forms in just without a purpose. We're actually trying to solve. We're trying to solve something. And so these are actually solutions. And that brings us to our fourth component of our definition. The forms we bring into this world are actually solutions. They are aimed at solving something. We actually look to these solutions to change and shape the world to resolve whatever the problem is that we're going for. Designers are in it to win it. We are solution focused. Designers who are problem focused often suffer from a paralysis. And so as you think of design, think less about the problem and more about the solution. Yes, we need a problem. We need to understand what we're all shooting for, what the goals are, and how these problems are affecting our landscape so that we can design for them. But it's really about trying to solve for that problem. A designer is a solution creator, not a problem definer. Both of these activities happen, but the most successful designers are very, very solution focused, and they actually understand the problem better by creating multiple different possible solutions to understand what fits and what doesn't. So that brings us to the fifth component of our definition, and that is to solve a problem. You don't have a solution unless you have a problem. A solution actually lives only with a problem. A solution is aimed at solving some pain or answering some opportunity or doing something in the world to affect change to accomplish something. And so designers are always focused on delivering a solution to a problem. And whenever design begins to go astray or gets gangly, it's good to kind of slow down and see, okay, what is working and what is not working about these solutions so that we can understand what problems we're actually trying to solve that will help us to hone in and refine our solutions so that they're more impactful, more powerful. But it's very important that we understand the very final piece, the very final component of our definition, and that is ambiguous problems. Yes, we solve problems, but as we looked at in the beginning, it's a specific type of reasoning. Design reasons a specific way, and design is most powerful when that reasoning is coupled with these problems that are poorly defined, or these wicked problems, as some have called it. So design actually lives perfectly in harmony with these problems that are poorly understood. We may come into a situation and be given a prompt and then understand that prompt better and better and better the more we create multiple different options and see what is working and what is not. We begin to actually see what the fit between the solution and the problem is. That is the power of design. That is where design can actually change the world, is because we can bring these new and creative ideas to life and test them out and find new and exciting ways of improving the situation, improving our lives, and improving humanity as a whole. As designers, we're not just creating just for the sake of creating. We're actually solving for something, and we're doing it through a specific type of reasoning. And these problems being ambiguous means that there's not a right and a wrong solution. There's not a right design and a wrong design. In fact, it's more of a spectrum. It's more of thinking about what is most optimal, what is best in this situation. How do we get the solution to be the closest fit to the problem as we understand it? That's the place where design thrives. That's where design can actually make huge impact in the world. So, design, what is it? Design is a distinct method of reasoning that brings form to solutions that solve specific but ambiguous problems. Design is one of the most basic human activities that we do. We do it all the time, and I think a lot of the times we don't even realize we're doing it. And so as you think about this definition, it's probably raised a lot of questions. So if you have questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Or if you found this video helpful, hit that like button. And if you want to grow your design and creative abilities, make sure you subscribe to get the latest content as soon as it comes out. I'm so excited to share with you what I've been discovering along the way so that you can improve your design and creative abilities. And if you really like this definition, check out the description because you can actually grab a poster or a print of this definition. You can hang it on your wall, prompt some discussion wherever you're at, and improve everyone's understanding of what design is and how to do it well. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I truly hope it's been helpful for you, and I hope that you can go on and change the world in the way that you design and improve things around you. Go make something awesome.